New Hope for Guatemala, of course, works in schools. And the question that everyone has that starts doing this, how do you take a poor school or a rural school that has a less than 50% pass rate and turn that school into a school that has a pass rate of 95% or more? Well, over the years, this is what we've developed. The first thing that we do is we make sure that the school is painted and clean and nice and professional looking. You cannot expect great results in a school that looks run down and dirty and unkept, and it sends the wrong message to the students. So our schools are painted every year, and we keep the maintenance of the school up to the highest standards that we can. The second thing we do is that we make sure that every class has a teacher. You cannot expect schools to perform well when you have entire classrooms that have no teacher. So we make sure that every class has a teacher, and in some cases that means for a year or 2 years providing and paying for an extra teacher so that every class in the school can have their own teacher. Subsequently, additional teacher training is needed because some of these teachers have minimum teaching requirements in their educations. And so it helps greatly to bring in experts, people who know a lot about education and about education techniques to further train the teachers. Another critical element is that the entire community supports the school. Every school where we work, we do our best and are pretty successful at getting community bodies and groups and organizations involved, from the smallest town into where in some of these rather small cities we work in. And that means the town council, any education councils, the churches, women's groups, every civic type group in any town needs to be helping in these schools. These schools don't have lots of resources. The government doesn't have the resources to bring them up to the levels that need to be in them, but these community groups make a huge difference. So what it does is it allows the school to also become something that actually helps to unify and bring unity to a community, whether it's small or large. So we do that and have been very successful. Everywhere we work, we have the local, whether it's the local town council or local government or churches, any group that's there, we try to get them in the schools all the time to help. As the academic results in a school improve, once we start working in it, it's very important that it's highlighted to the leadership of the Ministry of Education so that as they see a school academically rising, they will be pleased and more supportive. And of course, the better that a local school functions, and the better their academic results are, the better the local Ministry of Education officials look. So as we raise those standards, we get more and more officials in the Ministry of Education aware and involved. And then once the school gets to the level that we demand, which is a pass rate of at least 95%, we gradually allow the Ministry of Education to take over any salaries that we're paying. And that's usually doable because the school is successful, it has good records, it looks good to outsiders in the education process here. So gradually, any teachers that we're providing to make sure that every class has a teacher, those positions are taken over by the government, who should have been paying them in the first place if they had the resources to do so. And so once the government has taken over the teaching positions that we provide, it's time to go to another school that's lacking in teachers and resources and start all over again. So over time, what you end up is with a group of schools that are fully staffed, that's totally supported by the government, and has the things that it needs. So those are the things that we do to take a school that is not performing very well, and that's a large majority of the schools here, especially in rural settings, and see it transformed into a school that has a pass rate of at least 95% over all grades. Right now, at this time, we're doing that in 8 schools in 4 different departments or states of Guatemala.